I'd like to talk about how I was forced to put myself first. And before we talk about that, I would like to introduce myself. My name's Ghazala. I'm at the Heart and Soul Cafe. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're here for the first time, you're very, very welcome. Now, I've shared in previous videos that I very sadly lost my son 4 years ago. I decided that I wanted to do something positive as a result of losing my son. Although I did contemplate completely giving up and giving in and thinking, that's it, I'm done. I don't know how to live this life without my son. I don't know, was the life before losing my son a complete lie? Because I don't understand how I've got here. And what that means. I decided that I was going to do something positive. I was going to try and do something in honor of my son, in honor of his memory, or leave some kind of positive legacy. And this YouTube channel may be a part of that, because this is something very, very recent. I lost my son 4 years ago. Last 3.5 years, I have started up a charity in his name. We're already doing, it's very early days still, but we have done some positive work with that, some things that I'm actually really proud of already, and we're hopefully going to go on to doing bigger and better things with that charity, hopefully. But the thing is that I made these decisions about 6 or 8 months after losing my son. I made a decision that I want to do something positive, but I didn't really know what that was. I thought, well, okay, you can have the intention to do something, but yeah, what? How am I going to find the energy? How am I going to get there? How am I going to find any kind of motivation? I don't even know what to do. But yes, the charity was one thing, and volunteering for another charity, a bereavement charity, was another thing that I've been doing since then, for about 3.5 years now. But yeah, I had to then think, I have to put myself first here, because I'm not going to be able to do anything if I don't focus in on what it is that I need. So it's really a lot of self-advocacy. I need to put things into place. I need to say what I need, to function, to move forward. And I feel that it's really what you need, want, and deserve in order to thrive. And so when it comes to my family, my husband, let's say, he supports me in what I do. And that for me is enough. He's not really like hands-on with the charity, that, he's the, making those phone calls or making arrangements. He's not so much that. He will do what I ask him to do. So if I ask him to help me with something, he will do it. But he's not that driving force. And that's how he wants to be, and that's fine. And I respect that. We don't all function in the same way. We don't all work the same way. So I did have to make a positive point and ask myself, what is it I need? What is it that I want to do? And how am I going to actually do that? Looking after myself is so important, because if I don't look after myself, I'm not going to be able to do what I do, because it's so draining. It can be so emotionally draining. Listening to others who have experienced child loss, and sometimes it's in horrific situations. Children have been murdered, children have suicided, and sometimes it's that parent's only child. And sometimes I've experienced a parent losing 2 children in the space of 6-7 months, and you almost stop yourself in your tracks and you think, what is that? Are you for real? is what you find yourself thinking and saying. Is this really happening to people? Well, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So it is a difficult role. I do, but it's very meaningful and very rewarding. And the way it's rewarding is there's no money when it comes to my charity work. I don't receive any kind of funding, or I don't receive any kind of payment for any of the charity work I do personally. But what the counselling does is people say things such as, women have said things such as, you don't know how much you've helped me. You were there when I was at my lowest point, and there was no one else around. There was no one who could understand what I was talking about when I talk about losing a child. People would step in and say, oh yes, I know how you're feeling, because I lost my mum. And I've shared this in previous videos. So it's true, people mean well, but they don't always say the best possible thing they could say. And sometimes people just try and say too much, whereas they didn't really need to say anything at all. So it's really, really important for me personally to put myself in a place and give myself importance, to put myself first in order to do this job, because not everyone around me knows what to say to give me that pickup that I might need. So I have to help myself. And again, I think it's so important. The main focus of this video really is to raise awareness about that, to put yourself first, to not be the one that, is trying to do things for everyone else and not give yourself any importance, put yourself at the back of the queue, always. And you know who you are. You know the one, you know what I'm talking about here. It's so important to sometimes, not always, but sometimes put yourself first and do what you need to make sure that you have what you need to carry on. Otherwise, you'll just burn yourself out. And then you're not going to be any use to anyone if you're that. I would like to say that, I want to carry on making a positive impact on other people's lives, however that is. And, whether that's through the mental health first aid training, or through the bereavement counselling, or through this YouTube channel. If I am just talking to one person out there who is resonating with me, who is listening and saying, oh, that is me, and I am that one person that thinks about everyone else all the time other than myself, and look at me now, and it might be not how you look aesthetically, it might be how you feel inwardly. It could be a combination of both, but it might be down to neglect, down to self-neglect that's got you there. And it's so important. If we don't look after this, temple, if you like, then how are we going to carry on and live and think about longevity? Because it's something that I would like to look at. Because if I have been put in this place or put in this role, and I don't know about this YouTube channel because it's too early to say anything, and I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if we're going to build this platform I want to build. I don't know that. Only time will tell. I do know that I'm going to have a good old go at it, and I'm not going to give up so easily. I know that because that it's all about me, isn't it? I'm not relying on anyone else. So no one else is going to let me down. It's me. So that's one thing that's important. I've got to make sure that I put things into place so that I can do this for as long as possible. If I've been given this opportunity, to make a difference in other people's lives, then I would like to do it for as long as I possibly can. I think that's important. I hope you found the content of this video helpful. If you feel that it might be of use to somebody else that you know at the moment who might be struggling to put themselves first, then share it. Do comment, do like, subscribe. What kind of things do you think that you would like to put into place to help with yourself, and something that you've been putting off? What is that? Let's talk about it. Okay. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, please look after your hearts and souls. Thank you.